Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Oldham County Fiscal Court, September the 3rd, 2024. And before we start our meeting, I'd like to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance to the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we start, Ms. Holly, can you please call roll for us?
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here?
Magistrate Woosley.
Here.
Magistrate Jeffries.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Hawkins.
Here.
Magistrate Dye.
Present.
Magistrate Logston.
Present.
And judges absent.
Okay. With 8 of the 9 of us here, and I was going to tell you to begin with, I'm Magistrate Wayne Tice, and I'm sitting in for the judge today because he's a little bit sick and under the weather. As we start, can we have the approval of the minutes?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, they stand approved.
Do you want to do the agenda, sir?
What did I say, the minutes?
You did say the minutes.
I meant to say the agenda.
Okay.
Let's approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor of?
Aye.
I apologize, but we'll level out here in just a second. Before we start our public comment, we've been working on a project for a couple of years with AT&T. I'm going to get Magistrate Hounds to bring that forward for us. We've got a past magistrate, Steve Greenville here, and we've got something that we want to display here for everybody to see. Take it over.
Thank you. We're probably about 96%, give or take, on the AT&T project. And back during the AT&T project, they asked for somebody to that we could use. We could showcase Oldham County. And I don't know how Steve got picked for this, or voluntold or volunteered. I'm not sure which. But AT&T has been using Steve and Karen, his wife, throughout the country. We think. I've only seen it in Kentucky, so I can't speak outside of the state. But it is pretty cool. And I asked Jay if he would mind putting that up so people that haven't seen it can see it and give Steve some accolades for his fine acting work.
That's you on there?
Yeah. He gets $12 every time this is played. So.
That's nice. That's a good shot. That's pretty cool.
There's a couple different versions. Call that the short version, but there's the longer version of it too. But I think it's pretty cool, Steve, what you did and showcasing Oldham County and the farm community in that, and thank you for that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Thank you for bringing the forward. Yes. One of the challenges that we did when we went into the broadband for Oldham County is we wanted everybody in the county to be accessible to this. And Magistrate Greenville, past Magistrate Greenville, lived on the Oldham County-Shelby County line, so he was some distance away, and that just shows their efforts to get that done, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Steve, you'll be able to watch the UK games live and in high def, which you may not have been able to do that before now.
I told him that was an issue.
That was an issue.
Oh, well, I think I do see a Golden Globe Award in your future.
Anybody else want to take any shots at Steve while we see it? Well, we got it. All right, let's move on into the agenda. Do we have anybody here for public comment? You're here every week.
I'm here. I'm going to be here every court
Okay.
until November 5th. I'll be here on November 5th as well to give everyone an update on how the election's going. Jay, can I have the overhead?
Now,
please?
who are you?
Amy Alvey, Oldham County Clerk, 2903 Kinlock Road, LaGrange. All right, so this is the postcard that will be mailed out to every household in Oldham County. It will go out the first full week of October, and this gives all of your voting opportunities here in Oldham County. The State Board of Elections is obviously anticipating a very large voter turnout, so we are trying to push early voting as much as we can. You'll see that in the center where it's no excuse early voting. That is done at the John Black Center, and we have added a second location for this election in November, which would be the Crestwood Baptist Church. That is also a voting center on Election Day. Just some key dates to let everyone know. If you want to update, either register to vote or update your voter registration, you have to have that done by 4 p.m. on October the 7th. So that is key. So if you want to change parties or update your address or anything of that nature, that has to be done before October the 7th. Absentee portal, that is for anyone that cannot attend any of the no excused voting, which is done, excused voting, which is 6 days. That's done in my office during regular business hours. That is done, let's see, 6th day is October 23rd, 24th, 25th, October 28th, 29th, and 30th. And then we go straight into the 3-day of no excuse voting. Again, that is done in my office. If you cannot attend, be in person to vote during that 6 days or the 3-day of early no excuse voting, then you can apply for an absentee ballot. And that absentee ballot, that portal opens on September the 21st, and you'll visit the state website at govote.ky.gov. You have to request your absentee ballot through the state portal, choose your reason why you're requesting that absentee ballot, then that information is sent to us. So again, we're just trying to push early voting as much as we can to try and keep the lines down on Election Day. We will have the same 9 locations that we've had in previous elections. We've beefed up. We're using every piece of equipment that we have. We'll have 82 clerks checking people in on Election Day between those 9 locations. And during early voting, we'll have 26 between the 2 locations. So that's all I have. And I'll be back in 2 weeks to say the same thing.
Amy, if somebody does want to register to vote, what are the ways in which they can do that?
They can either come to our office here at the LaGrange office and go to the registration department. As long as you are 18 by Election Day, you can register to vote. I am working with the high schools to do a voter registration drive of the 4 high schools, the 3 high schools in Buckner Alternative, working with their principals to come in and do a voter registration drive during their lunch break, their lunch periods, to get anyone registered to vote. But yeah, you can register to vote or update your card in person, or you can do it online at govote.ky.gov.
Okay. Thank you.
Magistrate Dice.
Amy,
Yes, sir.
I had one quick question. Oh, just what was the status of the fire at the North Oldham Library, the new library?
It was contained just to an outside wall. It's not going to slow down our move-in. We will wait until probably late November, early December to move our offices. I have to coordinate that with COT, Commonwealth Office of Technology, to move the state portion of the lines because it's a secured network. So as of right now, it has not delayed us at all to move into the new library.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Amy.
Yes, sir.
Is someone going to, are you going to be sending that card out in the mail?
Yes, that postcard will go to
when?
every household. And if you read your What's Happening, did you read your What's Happening yet? Because I have a 2-page article in the What's Happening. See, Magistrate Greenwell still brought his with him.
I haven't read it yet.
I
Well,
read it in my Utilities Committee
Yep.
meeting.
I read the page you were interested in.
but yes, so I did do the What's Happening newsletter that goes out to every household as well. Our election plan was not approved by Secretary Adams at the time that we had to submit our information for deadline, so it just has a QR code on there that you can scan with your phone that takes you directly to our website. to see the voting locations, or you can, it has our website on there as well. But it has the dates, just doesn't have the locations, which was kind of sad because I really wanted that to go into that, but it wasn't approved yet by Secretary Adams. But
Correct,
yes,
right.
every household.
Just one comment on
Yes,
the
sir.
early voting. Since it's been out, I voted either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. What a pleasure.
Good.
It's moved very well at Buckner, and it's well-manned, and if you want to make sure, if you want your voting experience as simple as it can get, please take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
It's close to your house.
Thank
It
you.
is.
It is close to your house.
It's,
And I have one close in Crestwood now. So again, just trying to push that second location as well because they anticipate 80% turnout of registered voters. So, I mean, that's around 40,000 people for us. So
Thank you.
it's a lot. Thank you.
The next thing we have is the Cooperative Extension Service. Whoops.
Got one more
what's that?
public comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Veterans Memorial Park.
Hello, I'm Jerry Nart from the Veterans Memorial Park of Kentucky. I'm here to remind the magistrates, you should have received an invitation, I think, but I'm here to remind the magistrates in the court and the public of our annual event / 9/11 Patriots Day observance this coming Saturday at the park on the campus of South Oldham High School. It will begin at 11 a.m. This year, we're showcasing 2 new monuments that were just installed last week, or 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry. And for the event as well, we will have a piece of steel from Ground Zero in New York City, provided by the Mercer Transportation of Louisville Company. It's about 13 feet tall and comes out on a trailer. It will be there for the duration of the ceremony. And our keynote speaker is Captain Frank Stewart, U.S. Navy retired, who was a former commanding officer of the USS Louisville, an attack submarine that has the distinction of firing a missile during Desert Storm. I remember watching General Schwarzkopf and him doing his press conferences, and it was one of those traditional, he got handed a piece of paper and said, "This just in," and he announced that had happened. He said, "I can't tell you where they fired it from, just somewhere in the Mediterranean." And so I've asked Frank, we're friends, I've asked him before, and he says, "I can't tell you, I was just somewhere in the Mediterranean." So he will be our keynote speaker. So we're just wanting to make sure we get the word out. The park is coming along very well. We appreciate the support we get from Fiscal Court and everybody else in the county. And if there's any questions, I'll be glad to entertain them.
What was his rank again?
I'm sorry,
What was his rank again?
Captain? We seagoing services, when we're captains, we're equivalent to colonel in the other services, in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Before we
So he's
quit,
pretty
one more
high up.
time. Date and time.
This coming Saturday,
Got it.
September the 7th,
Yes, sir.
it begins at 11 a.m.
Perfect. Got it. Remember that.
Thank you all for the
Thank
time.
you, Jerry. Now, try to slow up here a little bit. Anybody else would like to come forward for public comment? Okay. Seeing none, then we will go now to the Extension District Board making their annual presentation. And I was excited because we have a new lady to Oldham County. Am I stealing your thunder? Are you going to do it? I am?
Yes.
Then I'll let past Magistrate Greenwell make that presentation. Good to have you here.
It's good to be here. Thank you all very much for inviting us, distinguished members of Fiscal Court. My name is Steve Greenwell. I'm president of the Extension District Board, and we're going to give you all a presentation today. And my first part in this, as usual, I don't have notes, but we have a new Ag and Natural Resources agent. Her name is Gretchen Winslow.
Whoops.
I could have done that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They've been fun to watch.
All right, so yes, as presented, my name is Gretchen Winslow. I am the new Agriculture and Natural Resources Extension Agent for Oldham County. As of August 15th was my start date, and I would like to say that I am so very excited to be here. Absolutely love the community. I've already had the opportunity to talk to the community and with the community, and I am very excited to work here and be here.
Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Woods, and we are very excited to have Gretchen a part of our team. I feel that I'm not a very effective ag agent. I'm a great 4-H agent, but I've made my way the last 8 months, but I'm glad Gretchen is here. So I'm going to head up the next section of our presentation, and that's the presentation of our budget for this upcoming year. As you see on the screen, total available funds that we have are $3,408,081. And then you'll see our budget appropriations below. Personnel, $557,073.89. Operations, $251,570. And administration, $125,100. And capital outlay, $296,000, with a $2,178,337 capital improvement and emergency fund. So that is our budget for the upcoming year. Are there any questions? All right, and then also in presenting our tax rates, the board put into effect a 1.4 for real property, personal property, and inventory, and that is at compensating rate, and we actually dropped that by, last year was 1.43, and then of course motor vehicle and watercraft stayed the same at 1.5. Any questions? Yes, Michael.
When do you all foresee starting your new building?
Well, I don't want to steal Sam's thunder, and he's up next. And Sam has an exciting announcement that he wants to make.
We'll save it for Sam.
Sam Finney is the chair of our land search committee, and they have been working hard for the past 2 years in identifying a piece of property for us, and he's going to share about that.
Good afternoon. I'm Sam Finney. I'm vice chair for the Extension Board, and in November of 2022, then president of the Oldham County Extension Board, Ken Hepperman, asked me to serve as chairman of the Land Search Committee for the Extension Board. The committee, Jamie Fackler, David Dibble, Steve Greenwell, Ken Hepperman, along with extension agents Kelly Woods, Heather Toombs, and Tracy Johnson, and myself, were charged with the task of determining the needs of the extension in Oldham County, both now and in the future, and what would it take in land and facility resources to help meet those needs. The immediate needs were obvious: more office space, meeting space, educational space, parking space. We were past bursting at the seams. Long term, it's whatever the community is willing to support. Our process started by visiting other county facilities to see what they had and how they were using office and land resources. Next, we worked to estimate the size and facility amount of acreage that would satisfy our needs. Then we determined an ideal location corridor where we would focus our search and set a budget for what we could be spent on the property. Our ideal location corridor was Interstate I-71 from Crestwood to LaGrange, 2 miles wide on either side. Our acreage goal was 20 acres. Our budget was $1.5 million. Our search began by contacting property owners in the area of our location corridor with large parcels of land to see if they would be interested in selling or gifting some property to the Extension Board. That not proving fruitful, we moved on to existing properties for sale within the same area and began eliminating them by reasons of price or suitability for our purposes. Finally, we took on the services of a realtor to aid the search for suitable property. On August 15th of this year, Oldham County Extension Board purchased 67 acres of property located at 2031 East Highway 22, about 1/2 mile from the intersection of Highway 22 and Highway 53 in Ballardsville. 21 months of sincere effort reaped a promising parcel of property purchased at $125,000 under budget. We are beyond excited for the future of Oldham County Extension on this property. Thank you.
This is Gretchen Winslow again, moving on to the agriculture and natural resources section of this presentation. Starting with how many farms that are in this county of Oldham County. We have about 410 farms currently, and these range from cattle to horses to crops to various other animals. Some of the programs that have been done this past year in Oldham County have been the Regional Beef Field Day, the Rinse and Return pesticide containers, the Youth Ag Project presentations, Beef Quality and Care Assurance, Oldham County Ag Connection, Tractor Maintenance Workshop, and Private Applicator Training. These are just some of the various programs that have been done. Moving on to some of the horticulture programs. As you can see in the pictures represented, one of our programs that we've done this past year was a demonstration on container gardening to demonstrate how you can bring a garden to yourself if you don't have land to plant it in. So in these pictures, this is our horticulture assistant, Hope Gardner, demonstrating how to build these containers and how these containers work to a group of people who are interested in this programming. Moving on to the agriculture fair exhibits. This year we had 72 agricultural entries, and they ranged from fruits to vegetables to flower arrangements and others. And next, I would like to bring up our FCS agent for the next part of the presentation.
All right, so I'm Heather Toombs. I'm the Family Consumer Science Agent, and for FAIR, we had, cannot remember exactly how many, but we had some wonderful exhibits and lots of canning and some good tasting treats. As you can see, I had to walk a little bit extra after Fair Week because I had to taste everything. I didn't judge it, but I got to taste it. Yeah, and beautiful quilts and some great art. So the pictures here are our grand champions. So in the youth, senior, and open class divisions. So, all right. I didn't realize that. Okay. So family consumer science. I know it's everybody's always like, what is that? Right? Right? So these are the initiatives that we have. So making beneficial lifestyle choices, nurturing families, embracing life as you age, securing financial stability, promoting healthy homes and communities, accessing nutritious food, empowering community leaders. And those are just the initiatives. So there's all kinds of things that play into that. And then I work with, other councils in the county to find out where there's opportunities to work on those with other agencies or just to fill in missing items that aren't accessible to everybody. So some of the programs that we do with our homemakers clubs is they do a lot of service. They also increase their education. We have continuing education classes that they take monthly and share with their families and spread it out throughout the community in their different pathways that they choose. So we're really proud of the homemakers. They celebrated 100 years last year. This year, it'll be 101 years. And so this is the FCS team. If you've been to the Extension office lately, we work together. It's kind of grown a little bit. We've got Sherry Ragsdale has been doing the nutrition classes forever. And then there's, of course, me. And then Melanie Panaritos used to be our office staff assistant, and she has moved over to program support. So she's teaching classes because we just don't have enough classes. Here's some pictures of, so the food and nutrition classes are taught by actually all of us, but Sherry does that primarily full time. And she goes into the classrooms and teaches my plate nutrition for the elementary age kids. And she's pretty busy doing that. And then she also goes into the prison and does some nutrition classes. And then there's some other classes that we partner with that we'll talk about a little bit later. So we're still doing the food preparation classes that we all love at the Extension office. We've been learning to make pie crusts, and charcuterie is a popular one, but different types of food. In those classes, anybody can participate. They just call and register, and we have the class. And then we've also been working on our sewing classes, trying to increase participation. Instead of doing just classes, we've introduced a new monthly open sew. So it's a chance for you to come up to the extension with a project that you're working on, or if you just need some help. We have 2 master clothing volunteers that are continuing to take classes at the University of Kentucky to perfect their skills, and then they return to the county and provide instruction for people. So the monthly open sew is a great opportunity to bring in a project or to ask questions, but she also has little beginner projects. So if somebody wants to come in and just start, they can just come in, and we have those every month starting. Well, so we need to add some more dates, but if you look on the website, we have an updated flyer. Then we are staying active. We have this past year done cultural dancing. We've done our Walking Kentucky. We've got yoga at the office every Thursday from 12 to 1. We're doing September right now, so if you guys want to join the group and count your steps, we are competing with Shelby County. So we'd really like to keep our
Momentum going. Our winning streak.
No, what's the thing that you get? The trophy. We've got a trophy. There's a picture of it, and it's awesome. And we really want to keep it. So then we did a gratitude walk. We did our second annual gratitude walk in nature. It was really peaceful and wonderful, and we talked about how being gratitude really can have such a profound effect on our mental health. And then we have a group that walks every Tuesday and Thursday at the Wellborn Park, and we meet at 8 o'clock in the morning. And it's been a really nice way for people who don't necessarily want to be walking out in the morning by themselves. They don't feel safe and secure, or they might not show up just for themselves, but they show up because other people are counting on them. It's been a really, really positive group, and we would love any Oldham County residents to join us for that. And then we've had salsa dancing at the office, so different ways to stay active. And I'm really excited about this program. Sherry Ragsdale has always done the healthy choices for several years through the drug court. It's part of their, they can take classes and earn points for their, part of their court relationship. But we've also added now the recovering your finances, which I'm really excited because I finally get to have a hand in it. But it's a way for people to work on recovering their finances. It's the same classes that everybody is taking every year, but it has a component that is going to really give them the extra support for success as they continue on their journey. And I'm really excited to be a part of that. And then 2 of my programs that I really want to push out this year is WITS Workout. We've got the physical workout, and we've got some skills that we're working on at the Extension office, but we don't want to forget our most important muscle is our brain. So we are doing that on Fridays at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's new novel puzzles. So it's never the same thing. It's always something different. It's a little awkward. It's a little bit hard sometimes. Sometimes it's really easy. But it's just enough to get your brain exercises. the brain is much more malleable than previously thought, and it's important to keep that. It's just like lifting weights or stretching in yoga. It's just, you got to keep it active, and it has to have new experiences to keep learning, keep on retaining our memories, and just enjoying our later years. And then I think that we did this last year, Laugh and Learn. It's a story time on steroids, I like to call it. But it's an hour-long playtime that we do with parents or caregivers, and it's helping get Kentucky kids kindergarten ready. So we are excited to offer it for the first time at night, and we're going to have several dates that you can come to the extension office in the evening, or you can come to Crestwood or Centerfield. We meet there once a month and play with your kiddos. It's a good time. So I think that's it.
Thank you.
Well, we had another successful camp this year. Our attendance, we had 309 campers, 33 youth leaders, and then we had 51 adults volunteer to spend the week at camp with our 309 young people. And those individuals went to trainings before they went, completed applications, background checks, and all in all, they volunteered over 8,232 hours to make sure our kids had a great time at camp. We finished this year up, we had the second highest attendance at Lake Cumberland 4-H camp ever for any county. So we're excited about that. And also, in going to camp, Stephanie Willis and Amy Logston go to camp along with me to help care for these 309 children, along with our adult leaders. 4-H fair exhibits. We had 307 projects entered into our fair exhibits held at the office. 63 of those projects were selected and were taken to State Fair, and they were entered in Cloverville. And we're really excited about these two young ladies because they were grand champion in Olive Foods. That's Charlie Kelly, and she received grand champion in the entire foods department for her apple pie. And that's Lily Albro, who also received the grand champion award for all of arts. And that is with all of the arts, all the foods across the entire state. So I have only had two 4-H'ers ever in my 35 years of being a 4-H agent that have gotten grand champion, and we had two this year. So we were really excited about that and happy for these young ladies. Every year we have a 4-H communication program where our 4-H'ers present speeches or demonstrations. This year we had 169 members that actually prepared a speech and presented at the county area, and then we also had individuals that went on to state competition at UK. Our 4-H Horse Club continues to be a very successful program. I want to highlight two individuals involved in our horse program, and that is Savannah Claggett. She was a senior this past year, and she won at the state event and then qualified to represent Kentucky at the Southern Regional and also the North American. So we were excited about her and her accomplishments. And then Jean Jenkins has been our 4-H Horse Club leader for 20 years, and during the state fair, she was awarded the Horse Leader of the Year award at the State Horse Show. So we're really proud of both of them. 4-H Shooting Sports, we have 86 members in our shooting sports program, and we go across all disciplines, and we have 34 individuals who'll be competing this weekend at the state competition. And then there's another young man up there that you see, Mr. Sam Finney, who's pictured. Sam is not only involved in the County Extension Council, but the district board, but he also is one of our shooting sports coaches. For shooting sports, he meets every Monday night with our young people for about 5 or 6 hours every single Monday night. And he's also on state level competitions. In fact, I think you're in charge of the archery competition this weekend, aren't you? So he's a very busy man, and he received the Certified Shooting Sports Volunteer of the Year award for at this at the State Volunteer Forum back in February. So we're really proud of his accomplishments and very thankful for his work in leading our shooting sports program. We also visit, we will have this year 57 classrooms that we visit on a monthly basis. And that focuses on leadership, agriculture, science, engineering, and technology, and environmental education and communication skills. So either Stephanie Willis, Amy Logston, or myself visit those classrooms on a monthly basis throughout the school year. And then, of course, this is our list of volunteer clubs that we have that are led by volunteers in the community. And if you're interested or know any children that are interested in getting involved in those, please reach out and contact the Extension office, and we can get them involved in any of the programs. Does anybody have any questions? You can reach us at 222-9453. Yes. Oh, sorry.
So you talked about the steps, and I was just looking up online. So is it you have to go to that event, or is there a way to record our steps another way? I mean,
steps.
September.
Yes, that's.
Sorry.
Yeah, you can, I have a log if you want to contact the.
Do you want to come up here so we can get it?
Yes. I'm so loud, I forget that I don't need a microphone. So you can contact the office and be on the extension team, or it's actually Traeger University, or Traeger Institute is the originator of it, and they have there's little signs all throughout the parks and the community. You can just click on their QR code and register yourself. But we'd love for you to be an extension team, because we like to brag about how many steps we get as an extension office.
So if someone wants to call the 222-9453 number, you guys can get them hooked up. Okay.
Absolutely.
Wayne?
Yes, sir.
Had a question. Just wanted to see, do y'all have any timeline on when you'll start construction on new extension offices at Vallersville?
All right. I'm going to defer that question to Mr. Finney. Would you like to answer that question?
We do not have a construction timeline. We're still in the planning phase. We've got a lot of groundwork yet to do, and by just getting ready for planning and stuff like that. So, but I expect it hopefully will be sometime within the next year to year and a half.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Magistrates, anything else? Magistrate?
I wanted to ask whoever wanted to answer this. If somebody was, because this is a lot, and you guys do a lot, what would be your recommendation for the top 3 things that somebody new should get involved with?
In extension overall?
Yeah, if somebody just wanted to that all sounds cool, that's so much, what would a beginner be really good at, do you think?
Well, first of all, one of the things that we all 3 work on is leadership development. So, I mean, that's something that we, really work on amongst our leaders, our youth, and focus on that. I think getting involved in some of the active programs that Heather has is a good way to get started and get involved. And then in 4-H, getting involved in some of our club activities, our community clubs, because that really gives them a very well-rounded experience of both knowledge, life skills, and leadership skills. And get on our mailing list, our newsletter list, so that you can hear of all the things that we're doing.
We went to one, and I don't even know which one of these groups we were in, but we made dog toys to be given to a shelter. Were we in, was that a 4-H? Was that a Clover Bud thing? What was?
It's a master clothing volunteer led.
It was a
We
what?
both work with sewing, so it's all.
So that was a particular project group that was offered through our Master Clothing Volunteer Program that Heather referenced.
Okay. Would that be under 4-H? Because it was fun. I just don't know how to find it again.
Right. The Master Clothing Volunteers, they work for family, or volunteer for Family and Consumer Sciences and for 4-H. So they have the charge and their responsibilities to work with both of those programs. So the open sew sessions that Heather talked about, those are available to both youth who has an adult along with them and our adult population.
I feel like this might have been a homeschooling thing that we were making.
It might have been, it might, maybe.
Did you say Clover? I think it had Clover in its name.
The homeschool, Clover Friends. On
I don't-
Wednesdays during the day?
It might have been.
Yeah, that might have been,
Yeah.
that could have been 4-H, yeah.
Okay. Clover. I'm glad you said Clover because I think that's where I would refind it is.
That's 4-H.
Okay. Oh, 4-H.
Was that-
Clover.
I think your daughter and your mother
Yep.
did
They,
a apron class.
yep. They, yeah,
so-
my daughter, my
yeah.
mother-in-law. Yeah, that apron is super cute. And I mean, and they're both pretty, my mother-in-law especially is a beginner sewer. And
They did great.
they did great. I mean, it turned out like professional, I felt like.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Glad to hear it. All right.
Just one more question. On the Healthy Choices for Recovering Bodies and Recovering Finances partnership with the Oldham County Drug Court, there might be some possibility that we have some opioid settlement dollars that has come to Oldham County. That's a kind of a 20-year program or whatever and we're looking about, partnering with groups to get some of those dollars out to help, recovering folks from all the opioids and whatever. So, is she kind of taking care of that, or who do we need to talk to?
Sherry would cover the foods end of that, and the nutrition component of that, but then Heather would be the person
Okay.
that's teaching the finance.
Okay,
session.
great. We'll explore that a little bit more and just
Okay,
see what
awesome.
possibilities are.
Absolutely.
Does that wrap your program up?
It does, yes.
Magistrate Greenwell, would you like to speak something?
Just one thing, as you can tell, we've got a lot of programs and we've got something for everybody. So if you need some help, call the 222-9453. Secondly, the latest edition of What's Happening in Oldham County. An excellent issue. It has got a ton of information in it. Talks about voting. It talks about the judge's staff, which I thoroughly enjoyed reading about everybody. And then also it has a spread in there about the Conservation District and then the the Extension District. So anyway, whoever put that together did an excellent job.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Well, it sure sounds like our extension service at Oldham County is doing very well. Very proud of you. Gretchen, it's good to have you on board with us here. So if there's anything else, that's it. All right. Next thing on our docket, looks like we got a bid opening for a Fiscal Court building exterior painting. Is Pat going to bring that forward? Oh, the letter opening. You got him here? All right. Is this for painting? We got a couple for painting, then we'll have some other ones for qualifications. This was it. I didn't know.
Kelly, you forget your thumb drive.
Hold us just a second. We'll get everybody's attention. We'll go forward.
Where's her thumb drive? Just pull it out.
All right. For our bids for the exterior painting of the Fiscal Court building, first one is Contractors General Restoration Corporation. Total not to exceed bid price, $52,800.
A lot of painting.
Second bid is from White House Residential and Commercial Painting Company. And their quote is for $80,897. So we have two of there. Yes.
Will that painting, will that also take care of the soffit work and stuff like that, or is it just strictly painting?
Don't know the answer to that question because this just came to me. I will assume that if it doesn't, it should include some soffit work or whatever we need to make sure it goes forward. Rodney, are
Rodney,
you
no.
up on that question?
Magistrate Tice, I assume we're not going to award these today. They'll be reviewed by,
I don't see any reason to, for a couple of reasons. Number one, the judge is not here. and I don't feel comfortable about awarding it, so we'll make sure he is here when that's done. And Rodney?
Yes, I will confer with them what all this will entail with their two bids. Everything that on the building that has been painted will be repainted. Everything that's on the building that has been painted will be repainted.
And will we do a little soffit work if it touch up or fill in or
Yes.
whatever we need to do?
Yes, any rotted wood will be replaced and touched up and painted. Yes.
Perfect.
So the columns and,
Front will also be touched up and painted, repaired.
okay.
Is that included in this?
Yes.
We don't know if it's included in the bid, but that was within the bid package.
Yes.
The response, we don't know what's in it yet.
Any more questions for Rodney? These are the only two bids. Let me hand them back to you, Rodney. You can take them to our Deputy Judge Executive as well as our Finance Department, and you all can go forward with that.
Building and maintenance.
Thank you. So that covers that. The next we have is statements of qualifications. These are not bids, they're statements of qualifications for the opening for the Country Club Lane, and I assume that's the one in Buckner, Kentucky. And the first packet I got here is from DLZ, which we're all very familiar with here. These will be passed on to our road engineer, Mr. Jim Silliman. So we have this group here, and you can wait or come forward.
What's the total on it?
Any other questions?
It's qualifications.
It's just RFQ.
Qualifications.
This thing says amount. It shouldn't say amount because it's just RFQs.
Yeah, it's just an RFQ,
Right.
excuse me. And I have not seen that. That all came out late, and I
Okay.
missed seeing that. I had some other meetings I was in. Thank you. The other one we have here is from Mendel Scott, which is also a Louisville group. Thank you. And this is from QK4. I had to look at their logo a couple of times before I recognized it, but it's QK4. So we have three groups and I think one more. Good, thank you. And our fourth is Prime AE, and not familiar with that name. I'm sure it's a good company. Just so happens the other one I'm very familiar with. Who's Prime AE?
Prime AE actually recently purchased Jacoby Tombs and Lands, so.
Familiar with that name?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll actually be taking these under advisement. Again, they're qualifications only. We'll coordinate with the road committee and establish a subcommittee to review these and determine the consultant we want to select to move on.
Glad we got 4 people that responded to it. Thank you. Thanks, Jim. You going to get back here shortly? No. Thanks again. Now we've reached the point in our meeting where we need to talk about the payables, approve the payables, or discuss the payables.
Motion to pay the bills? Second.
Say that one more time.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills. Second.
All right. Everybody's reviewed it, I assume. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay. So our payables go forward to be paid. Now we've got our Deputy Judge Executive, Joe Ender, to come forward. We've got, it's referred to as the Kentucky Ohio River Regional Recreational Authority. And I'm going to leave it there, let Joe make the presentation. If we've got any questions, we can ask him. And there is a resolution for this, but he needs to probably set it up so we understand more of than just the resolution.
Yep, and so, and just to caveat this, I'm kind of a pinch hitting today because Kim Hides actually sits on this, sits with this organization today and attends all of the meetings, and they meet quarterly. So just to kick this off, so this is basically a resolution for the fiscal court to grant Oldham County permission to officially participate in the Kentucky Ohio River Regional Recreational Authority, also known as CORA. And this is basically a river for representing Kentucky as a river town. This was passed earlier this year in House Bill 72 and signed by Andy Bashir. And this organization's charge is to develop a system of land and water trails to increase economic development, tourism, and outdoor recreation along the river. Their mission is to celebrate, enhance the natural culture and historical assets of the Ohio River Valley, facilitate a regional network to address common challenges and pursue shared opportunities, and identify and align resources to benefit the health and well-being of our communities. And I believe Holly included some light reading in there for you in your all's packet today. And then if there's any more confusion, this is basically a KIPTA for the Kentucky Ohio River communities. And so money will be allocated to this organization for the purposes of their mission. Any questions with regards to that?
Do you want to read the resolution into the record?
Sure.
What was the question?
My question was, would he like to read the resolution into the record?
Can I ask a question before we get?
Sure.
Let's let Hounds ask a question before we go to that.
All the money is coming from the legislature. There's no annual dues to the county. Do you know the answer to that?
I do not know the answer to that.
Because we said KIPTA, like we have a KIPTA contribution. I didn't know if this was going to fall in the same vein. And then, all right, that answers my other questions. And then,
Does that cover it?
Yep, I'm
All
good.
right.
Thank you.
Do you want to read the? Well, let's see. Somebody, whoever makes a motion, read the resolution.
I'll make the motion that we approve the resolution.
What's the resolution number and how's it read?
Would you want me to read the whole? I can read the whole thing.
Yeah, let's do
Resolution
it.
number 01090324 at the regular meeting of the Oldham County Fiscal Court held on September 3rd at the hour of 2 p.m. The following resolution was offered. Whereas the Kentucky General Assembly passed House Bill 712, an amendment to KRS 148 during the 2024 regular session. Whereas the bill creates the Kentucky Ohio River Regional Recreation Authority as a municipal corporation and political subdivision of the Commonwealth governed by at least 11 participating counties. Whereas Oldham County is a county included in the Kentucky Ohio River Regional Recreation Authority, KORA, as a target county. Therefore be resolved, therefore be it hereby resolved that Oldham County Fiscal Court does agree to participate in the formation and governance of the Kentucky Ohio River Regional Recreation Authority as established under in KRS 148.
Need a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Got
And I have a
motion
question.
Any discussion?
Yes. Who would participate? You said Kim Hides is on this committee. Is there anyone else that would be part of this committee?
So Kim would be designated by the judge executive. So this would give authority to the judge executive to make that decision.
Okay, and it's just one person?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you.
And I would assume also that it would be Kim, but I think it's the judge's position to nominate who our representative, whoever it may or may not be.
Correct. Yeah, Kim has been sitting on it unofficially to date.
Is it a 4-year term or, you know?
I think it's just an appointment. I don't think it has a term to it. Or all the questions I've asked this morning, that hasn't come up.
Okay.
So it'd be just a representative, and as people change, it could be someone else.
Everything
Yes,
is-
Manager Hounds.
I'm going to assume, but that gets me in trouble, that even though this has come from the General Assembly, that the county attorney's at least seen this prior to this conversation?
That's a dangerous question to ask, but we'll ask him anyway.
They sent it to me last week. I don't know anything about this program any more than you all do.
Okay.
Never heard of it before. I assume I'm taking it at face value, the information we were provided.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We're one of 11 counties, so I don't think this is anything that
No,
would require him doing it, but it's a good question. Yes.
Just to let you.
Yep.
Bob Dye left the building, so.
Oh, you can. Mr. Dye, Manager Dye.
My question was on the part that says governance. I just was curious how much control our appointed person would have in this Or does, because it says fiscal court agrees to participate. So would that be Kim would be making decisions on behalf of fiscal court as our appointed person? Probably, right?
I'm not sure, but not as not elected official, she would be going to the meetings, I would assume, understanding what's brought up, and do as directed to support this endeavor. So I would, I'm not sure
She
whether it
would
stand.
she would lobby on our behalf, but does not have any voting power.
Well said.
Thank you.
Michael, you got anything? Any more questions? Let's call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, none opposed. So that's done. Let's see, as we go to the next section is we've got some personnel actions, pretty basic. We have a new hire, which is Corey Stein, which is a 5-year lateral, step 3 telecommunications, and that would be effective March. That would be effective September 9th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And the second part is our Parks and Recreation position change. Kendall Myers is, he's a building monitor, and he's currently a lifeguard, but he's going to building monitor, and we'd like to keep him and move him to that qualification.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's perfect. We've got next, we're going to be going into closed session. And but before we do that, is there any other public comments that anybody would like to bring forward here while we're still here? Because we don't know how long we'll be in closed session. Seeing none. We'd like to go into closed session pursuant to the KRS 61.810B for deliberation of future acquisition or sale of real property by the public agency.
Motion. I'll move that.
Second.
And in going into closed session, we want to make sure that Joe Ender will be there with us. Barry Baxter, please, and Stan Clark. So until we get back, we'll join to close session.
Smack the gavel.
Do I get to do that? All right, we'll be back.
Is Saturday a good day to do it?
He was kind of like a Bo Simpson.
All right,
I mean, Bo.
we're bringing court back into session. Can I hear a motion to bring court back into session?
Yes, I'd like to move to bring the court back into session.
Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nay. Nobody, okay. Now that we're back in session, as to the KSRs, we had a discussion on a couple of pieces of property. For our understanding, we have, and simplicity, we've identified the pieces of property as property A and property B. So we're going to go forward. Is there any action that we'd like to take on parcel A?
Magistrate Tice, I'd like to make a motion that we purchase parcel A.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All right. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All in favor? Are you opposed? I'm sorry, you didn't say it.
No, we're fine.
Okay, so all opposed?
Do an eye contact.
All in favor of partial A, purchase of property A, going forward with that. Second partial is partial B. Is there any motion to discuss that?
You mean accept it?
Take action on it?
Yes.
What are you going to?
Make the motion.
You make the motion, what, sir?
Sorry?
Can't hear you.
What's your motion?
Make the motion that we go ahead and purchase parcel B.
All right. Here a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Okay. Then we go forward and we buy that piece of property also. Joe, is there anything else we need to do in what we've endeavored to do? Okay? Okay. We're at the end of court now. There's nobody for, I think we already did have last comment, but the courtroom is empty except for all of us. Let's start with Michael Loxton. Is there anything you'd like to
I
discuss?
just have one thing. Do we have a policy on the Smart 911, how we receive texts and stuff like that? If not, I'd like to see us put a committee together and do something with that. Because it just seems like sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't. The texts, last Sunday or 2 Sundays ago, 146 was shut down in Pee Wee Valley. It was just a catastrophe all morning long. And if we would have had a Smart 911 fee that came out, or not a fee, Smart 911 text that came out and said, 146 is closed at Maple Avenue, people could have got around a whole lot easier without coming all the way from Centerfield and have to turn around and go all the way back. So I just think we need a policy put together.
Who sits on that committee?
Public safety.
Public safety.
Public safety, and who would that be?
Chairman Dye, myself, and Magistrate Likens.
All right. Magistrate Helms, can I ask you to, at your next meeting, address that? And then we'll have that coming forward to us, and then we can know what we've got, what we don't have, and make proposals there. We won't let it down the table. Are you okay with that?
Yep.
All right.
Discussion, that's all I want.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Chris.
I'll pass
Yes.
it on to the chairman.
Okay, please.
I wanted to say that in ERU, Environmental Recycling Utilities and IT Committee today, we talked about the solid waste contract that's going to be due on the 13th of September. But what I wanted to just kind of ask the public is, or even anybody on court, just kind of any situation, good or bad, or anything you'd like to just kind of see, just anything solid waste, which is trash pickup or recycling pickup or anything like that, just bring it to my attention. And I'd love to hear good, bad, indifferent experiences so far, whether it's from here in Oldham County or somewhere else that you've lived that was a good experience, or something that you hope we never have to deal with, or whatever. Just all your trash experience. I'd like to hear it. And that's all I have today.
I'd like to have some feedback on that.
Yes,
Got it.
feedback.
Thank you. Magistrate Helms.
Yes, sir. Jerry Nart was here earlier to talk about the 9/11 Remembrance, September the 7th, which is Saturday at 11 at the Kentucky Veterans Memorial Park on the South Oldham campus. That event is to keep awareness of September 11th events, and just ask everybody, if you don't participate in the September 11th event, at least take some time during that day to remember what happened. We're getting a generation of people that are in school that are learning about it in their in class, whereas those of us, probably most of us in this room, lived that day. So just something to be aware of. I think that it's something we don't need to forget about. Those folks that passed away on September 11th in New York and in D.C. and other places.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Well said. Manager Jeffries.
Yes, sir. The only thing I've got today is in my district, the new antenna at Ballardsville Fire Station is under construction. The foundation has been put in or installed. They've got the piers up. So haven't seen any steel as of today yet for the antenna, but I think it's moving pretty quickly, and I think we'll have a new antenna hopefully operational sooner than later out there. But looks like they're getting right along with that. I've been stopping by there every day just to get some pictures and, keep an eye on it. It looks like they're doing a good job with it. So
Now, you holding them up or keeping them going?
I'm keeping them going.
Attaboy. All right.
That's all I have.
Manager Woosley.
I was hoping Magistrate Hounds was going to mention this. He's kind of taken lead of the 911 fee that we've tabled. But later this week, you're meeting with the speaker in Frankfurt to discuss that legislation. So just wanted to update everybody where we're at on that. So.
We have a meeting scheduled for Thursday at 3:45 in the speaker's office to talk about it. Some of us were at the CAECO Listens meeting 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. And the members of CAECO did not give us positive vibes that we were going to get anywhere with our conversation with the speaker, because they have been down this path multiple times. But there's no hill we shouldn't try to climb, right?
Absolutely.
That's all I had. Thank you, sir.
Good. All right.
Nothing, sir.
All right. Thank you. County Attorney, anything you need to bring to us?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. At that point, I don't have anything either, and let's adjourn the end of.
Second.
All right, second. All right, this is where I go. Bang, we're out of here. Thank you.